40 kilometers from Srinagar, the summer capital of Kashmir, these armed foreign mercenaries were photographed in 1994. It was during this period that the first Afghan militants entered Jammu and Kashmir to fight what they call a holy war, or jihad, against India. Since 1989, terrorism and militancy have ravaged the state of Kashmir. The Indian contention has been that these armed terrorists have been exported from Pakistan to conduct a proxy war.
मैं ये पूरे एतमाद के साथ आर्मी दुश्मन के पिस्टल रेंज में ये बात आपको पूरे आज़म, सुकून और एतमाद के साथ कहता हूँ। हम फ्रीडम ऑफ कश्मीर की जंग अब नहीं लड़ रहे हैं, बल्कि डिसइंटीग्रेशन ऑफ इंडिया का जंग लड़ रहे हैं।
The ostensible battle of all militant groups has been to liberate Kashmir from what they say is illegal Indian rule. To India, however, they represent Kalashnikov-toting symbols of cross-border terrorism. Travelling in this cavalcade of official vehicles is a minister in the central government of New Delhi. The paraphernalia comes not only with his position as a minister, but because he's a descendant of a political lineage whose fortunes have been inextricably linked to the history of modern Kashmir. 29-year-old Omar Abdullah is the son of the elected Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Dr. Farooq Abdullah. His grandfather was the legendary Sheikh Abdullah, known by all Kashmiris as Sher-e-Kashmir, the Lion of Kashmir. Sheikh Abdullah had fought for a special status for Jammu and Kashmir, a status which was granted and incorporated in the constitution of the state and of the Indian Union. This called for a measure of autonomy which no other state in the Indian Union enjoyed. As Omar pays his respects at the mausoleum of his late grandfather, it's ironical that what was once a pilgrimage site for Kashmiris is today heavily guarded by armed policemen. The gun-toting security around the grave symbolizes the agenda that the terrorists have set. The aim is to provoke a strong backlash from the Indian paramilitary forces, and the desecration of the mausoleum of Sheikh Abdullah remains a real possibility in this surcharged atmosphere.
There is no question about the fact that a low-intensity war, not a proxy war any longer, a low-intensity war is being waged against India by the military of Pakistan, and that is a fact that unfortunately the world at large continues to turn a blind eye to. I fail to understand why the world over they must feel that they have to equate India and Pakistan together. They can't seem to understand that one is a thriving democracy and the other has for most of its history been a dictatorship. They fail to recognize that without the active support of Pakistan, militancy here would die.
The Indian argument has been that exported terrorism from Pakistan has been one substantive reason why Jammu and Kashmir remains to this day a troubled spot. More than half a century ago, 1947, when the Pakistani-backed invasion of Kashmir took place, Sheikh Abdullah was in the forefront of the battle with the Indian army to throw out the intruders.
The people of Kashmir have passed through untold miseries during the last 15 months. They consider themselves part and parcel of this great country. They will never forget India and its gallant jawans who have been with them through thick and thin.
The history of Jammu and Kashmir has had a crucial bearing in contemporary events. Since 1846, a lineage of Hindu Dogra kings have been rulers of Jammu and Kashmir. Only months after India and Pakistan achieved independence, and in the face of rapid advance of tribal raiders from Pakistan, the government of Jammu and Kashmir sought military assistance from the Indian Dominion. On the 26th of October 1947, Maharaja Hari Singh, then ruler of this state, formally acceded Kashmir to the Indian Union. The UN became seized of this dispute because the Indian Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, complained to it of Pakistan's military attack after Kashmir had acceded to India. Subsequently, India agreed to a referendum, but only in terms of relevant UN resolutions that specified the government of Pakistan agrees to withdraw its troops from the state. Since Kashmir was legally already a part of India, what this meant is that Pakistan would first have to relinquish control of 5,000 square miles that they had overrun, the so-called Azad Kashmir, which India refers to as Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Since this did not take place, the dispute remains unresolved. In Jammu, at the Hari Nivas Palace, it was in this very room that Maharaja Hari Singh had signed the instrument of accession. Today, Ajatashatru Singh, grandson of the late Maharaja, is a minister in the Jammu and Kashmir state government. Ajatashatru, like many others, underscores the foundation of Kashmir's multi-ethnic makeup.
Most of the valley itself was actually a churning point for Kashmir Shaivism and Sufism. So I disagree with some people who say that it has not been liberal. I think the people in Kashmir, and especially the Muslim brothers there, have been more liberal than any other state.
Pakistan's claim on Kashmir has been based on the demographic makeup of the state, its majority Muslim population. But the multi-ethnic composition of Kashmir is evident in its geography. The barren but astonishing landscape of Ladakh is predominantly Buddhist. The province of Jammu has a predominantly Hindu population, and of course the valley where the majority population is Muslim. The rationale of Pakistan's very existence has been the two-nation theory, which divided India in 1947 and created a separate homeland for Muslims of the subcontinent. India, on the other hand, has consistently maintained that with over 140 million Muslims, India is home to the second largest Muslim population in the world after Indonesia. The fabric of India's secularism is based on multi-ethnic plurality, a coexistence of different faiths, religions and cultures. For India, Kashmir has always been a symbol of this triumph of India's secular credentials.